If you're over 40 and training consistently, you're probably doing two things: strength training and cardio. Maybe you've even dialed in your zone 2 work. But there is a third pillar of fitness that the research is increasingly clear about. And most people over 40 are either skipping it entirely or doing 30 seconds of it as a warm-up afterthought. Mobility and flexibility training. Not as a consolation prize for people who can't lift heavy, as a dedicated, intentional component of a complete training program. Hi, Marty here. I'm ANASMCPT, and I want to show you what the research says, and then show you exactly how I've built it into my own training, because this isn't theoretical for me. First, a quick distinction that actually matters. Flexibility and mobility are not the same thing. Flexibility is how far a muscle can stretch passively. Mobility is how well a joint moves actively, with control, through its full range of motion. You can be relatively flexible and still have poor mobility if you lack the strength and coordination to use that range under load. After 40, both decline if left unaddressed, and both are highly trainable at any age. Here's what the research says. A 2024 systematic review in the Journal of Sports Sciences examined 22 studies on mobility training. 20 of those 22 found that regular mobility work significantly enhanced athletic performance. That is a near consensus result. The same review found that consistency beats volume. 2 to 3 sessions per week of focused mobility work outperforms an occasional 45-minute stretch marathon. 10 minutes done consistently before every workout produces real adaptation over 6 to 8 weeks. A 2024 study of over 3,000 adults aged 46 to 65 found that greater flexibility in midlife was associated with lower mortality risk. That is not a minor fitness benefit. That is a longevity signal. On yoga specifically, because I practice twice a week and I want to be direct about it, a 2025 systematic review found a 34% reduction in fall incidence among regular yoga practitioners. That is comparable to the best physical therapy programs and superior to most pharmacological interventions for fall prevention. A 2024 trial found that 12 weeks of yoga increased telomerase activity, the enzyme that repairs your DNA's protective caps, by 43% in adults over 50. That is a biological marker of slowed cellular aging. Here's the pattern I see constantly. People do a 2-minute warm-up, jump into their main workout, and wonder why their hips are always tight and their squat never gets to depth. The warm-up is not your mobility training. A warm-up prepares you for today's workout. A mobility practice builds the body you'll train in for the next 10 years. Every workout I do begins with 10 minutes of targeted work. Thoracic spine, hips, ankles, shoulders, core activation. In that order. It is not exciting. It has become as automatic as lacing my shoes. The 2 yoga classes per week add a deeper layer, longer holds, breath work, more complex patterns. But the daily 10 minutes is the foundation. Everything else builds on it. If you are not doing this yet, here is where to start. 10 minutes before your next 3 workouts. Not after, before. Work through 5 areas: thoracic spine, hips, ankles, shoulders, and a short core activation sequence. The most undertrained joint in most people over 40 is the ankle. Address it first, and you will feel the difference in your squat within a week. If you've never tried yoga, find a beginner hatha or slow flow class. 1 class. See how you feel the next morning. The why is a great place to start. You are doing the strength work. You are doing the cardio. Add the 3rd piece, and your next 10 years of training will be better for it. Full article with all references in this week's Substack. Link in the description. Subscribe for a new research-backed article every Monday. Tell me in the comments, are you doing any dedicated mobility work, or has it been the afterthought? I read every one. See you next Monday.